The ban list is finally out. That's right, the ban list is finally out. It has been no more than 10 whole days since the no sooner than date has passed, and at long last we get to know if Konami has made the game playable in any capacity. And starting off things with the things that matter most, Arch Nemesis Protoss has been banned. That's right, this means Sword Soul players can no longer thump on the helmet for certain attribute matchups and just win on that alone, just as long as we ignore that Chao Feng is a card that exists and Light is a very common attribute. It also means that the entire actual engine for Sword Soul Tenyi is unhit, and the deck can continue to top off at more premier events. Exactly what we at the player base here were expecting. Ava is now officially banned. Will Drytron finally fall out of the meta? I think I speak for most of us when I say, please. This is the third list in a row where Drytron have been hit in some way. Hopefully it's the last, and hopefully I never have to face Herald of Ultimateness again. The next card banned was Simorgh, Bird of Sovereignty. This means birds can no longer end on a cheated out barrier statue, and I can actually play against them. It also means that if you play pure Simorgh, you can suck it, get Speedroid Terratopped, because that's just the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes, baby. Right before the deck gets its solid piece of support in Battle of Chaos, we're banning the boss monster. That's a tragedy. Yeah, but what can you do? And lastly for bans, they hit IO! Oh my god, Imperial Order is gone. You can play spells again. You can play Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. Holy shit, that garbage card is finally gone. Who thought it was okay to have in the game? Thank the Lord. Stupid ass, dumbass, floodgate ass, worthless ass card is finally gone from the game. Yes! Suffice to say, I'm a little bit glad that that card is gone. Overall, for the bans, I think they're good. It's really all floodgates, and that includes Ava, because Drytron and boards are floodgates. The limits are something else. First up, we've got Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Prison, back to 1. This is the first of the Halka Fibrax refugees to come off of the list, and hopefully not the last. It's fine, I'm sure some decks will like it, and some will abuse it, and some will activate the effect a few duels in a row before cutting it out of spite after losing due to having only 4,000 life points. Fairy Tail Snow is also back, and I'm personally ready to die. I don't like this card at Lightsworn, and my friend plays Lightsworn and has been for the last 10 years, so I'm sure he's itching to get his hands on it. He's complained to me multiple times this past format about how he misses Snow, and now I have to deal with it again. Still, realistically, there's no grass looks greener, and unless they're playing something like Luna to search it, it becomes more of a sack mill or a foolish, so I get to justifiably be salty when we duel, which is fantastic. Whatever, Lightsworn players can rejoice. Infernoid players, you don't count, I'm not mentioning you. Astrograph Sorcerer and Luna Light Tiger are both limited again, implying that someone at Konami watched MBT's Moron ban list tournament. Electromite and Azathoth are still banned, so these being to 1 should be fine. Or I'm an idiot, and these will break something, but it doesn't matter what my thoughts are on that, because my opinions will be surely drowned out by Triff's excited yelling about this news. Lyrilisk Recital Starling hit to 1 is another great hit to the bird up nonsense. Hits some consistency and makes the end board of UFD slightly less threatening in regards to the backup for next turn or whatever, although I'm sure they'll still be ending on it. They've got more than one rank 1 after all. And there were 2 more limits. The first is Monster Gate. I don't know why. Can somebody tell me why? Is this because they're scared of snow? Like, are they actually scared of like Fairy Tail Snow that they're like, hit Monster Gate, we can't let them turbo it out? If so, that's hilarious. Who's playing this? Did it top recently that I'm just ignorant to? I already said I'm not mentioning Infernoid. I have never had less of an opinion about a card being hit on the ban list, but it is a factual statement that Monster Gate is now limited. And lastly for limits, Pot of Desires. This one caught me off guard. On the plus side, I now technically have 9 playsets of Desires, which is fantastic, I suppose. And on the other hand, damn, they hit Desires. We can never draw Desires off Desires again. Overall, this is entirely nothing more than a win. The correct ratio is now objectively 1, which means there's no more debates about it. So, great news. It's going to be a Sacky one of, I guess, now. I'm not even... This feels like the most 2005-esque hit we've had on a ban list in forever. And I'm just kind of speechless. Moving on, for the first time in forever, Konami is using the semi-limited list now for more than just removal from the limited list. That's right, Nadir Servant and Fusion Destiny both got hit to 2. This makes enough sense. The number of decks playing DPE warrants some kind of hit, even if it is a meaningless one like this. It means that Konami at least recognizes that there is a problem and, you know, foreshadows actual hits in the future, which I suppose that's going to have to be enough. Nadir probably should have gone to 1, and I say that as a Dogmatica Shadal invoked fusion spell card, Alistair summoning Neanderthal. That deck really needs a better name than IDS. Dogmatica has been meta since its release, and Nadir to 1 is probably what should have happened in regards to it, but I play the deck, so I'm not going to complain. Other semis included a Hero Lives, Salamangreat Circle, and Scapegoat, which are all fine. Hero players and 2019 Duelist enthusiasts can enjoy that, and if you want to play like 4 extra deck slots for a 2 of Quick Play spell, by all means, I don't think anyone's really going to complain. And lastly, the Unlimits. Danger Nessie, REDM, Skullcrobat Joker, and E-Telly are all at 3 with no one surprise. This is Konami following the standard model of their lists, moving from 1 to 2 to 3. Raigeki is now also just straight to 3, playable in 3 for the first time since, I believe, 2002. Meaning that 2 whole decades have passed and power creep is now enough that you can just play 3 Dark Hole and 3 Raigeki again. One more needs to be said. And that's everything. Yeah, I fucking wish. Konami giveth and Konami taketh. The same way they gave us a ban on Protoss, they have taken away the limiting of skill drain, as the card is now back to 3.
I want to die.
True Draco players rejoice? Cleafort players? I hate this. I hate that. I suppose it's fine. I suppose it's not really that big of an issue. But I don't like this. This is bad. This is very bad. I don't want any more of that. Get back to 1. Ban it instead, actually. But yeah, that is actually all of everything there. So overall, that's the list. On the bright side, Protoss is banned. Simorg and IO are all things that can stand to stay out of the game forever real. Recital going to 1 is another good hit to a deck that has been tearing it up at events. And cards like Astrograph, Sorcerer, and Luna Light Tiger coming off are solid things overall. Players can now enjoy cards that they've otherwise not been able to for some time. And if nothing else, hits to things like Nadir Servant and Fusion Destiny mean that Konami is at least aware of those engines and can hopefully hit them in the future, and this can just serve as the slap on the wrist for the first hit. On the downside, them being aware of DPE does nothing to stop me from facing it every duel, and Nadir Servant to 2 just makes it, yeah, sure, less consistent, but it's still there. Artifact Scythe, Dagda, and Verte Anaconda are all fine and dandy, which means that's still a thing that you're going to have to face somewhat. And beyond Protoss and Desires, Sword Soul didn't get hit, which means that it's fine. The deck isn't really any worse off than it was before. It's just no longer Protoss hate. It's one of the 2 most consistently topping decks. It probably deserved more of a hit, but I actually do own the deck, so I'm very glad to see that it's fine. Oh yeah, and Mystic Mind and Skill Drain are at 3 in a format. That sucks. I continue to have to hear the normal summon Alistair joke, which, I mean, I guess I still get to make it, but I also still have to hear it. Can we please? I don't even care about it getting hit or not for the meta relevancy. It's just like, come on. Overall, it's a list. They've hit enough problem cards for me to be happy. They've taken enough cards off the list, put them back into playability for me to be content, and they hit enough random things for me to be confused. Monster Gate's a card, and you can only play one of it. If there is one clear takeaway from all of this, it is that one thing is for certain. Maxi is still banned. That's right. Screw everyone that thinks that card should come back. It is cancer. I hate it. Master Duel only confirmed how much it sucks. Stop saying it's coming back. Every single list. I hate that card. It's gone. It's staying gone forever. And that is it. As always, go ahead and subscribe if you would like to become a true duelist. And this is YGO Strats signing out.